Right.
Kinda freaky.
Oscar will look at Ghostly and say, frog, horse, frog. Do you wanna frog, horse? Do you wanna go on top of the frog, horse?
Yeah, are you all right, mate?
Frog! On top, frog!
Do you hit your head?
Oh my god.
I will go next to Madame Sprout and just put my hands on top of the frog. Safe, very safe.
Eternal Oscar right now. You would notice that Bubbles does a thing where the sides of Bubbles' mouth kind of stretch to the sides and curl downwards and you can sense what Bubbles is thinking, really, you think I'm good at this kind of stuff?
I was just gonna look at him and was like, no, but I don't think I'm any better. You really want me to go up to that man and go oh, it's okay, she wasn't much of a loss. See, I can't.
Bubbles kind of points inside their mouth, and just you know what Bubbles is saying the whole time, and Bubbles is just trying to communicate I can't even talk.
I think that's the benefit.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Ghostly, I think this might be for you.
What's that then?
Go give Brian a hug.
Oh, Brian's upset because now Cynthia's in bits on the floor.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay.
Kinda freaky.
Oscar will look at Ghostly and say, "Frog, horse, frog. Do you wanna frog, horse? Do you wanna go on top of the frog, horse?"
Yeah, are you all right, mate?
Frog! On top, frog!
Do you hit your head?
Oh my god.
I will go next to Madame Sprout and just put my hands on top of the frog. Safe, very safe.
Eternal Oscar right now. You would notice that Bubbles does like a thing where like the sides of Bubbles' mouth kind of stretch to the sides and curl downwards and you can sense what Bubbles is thinking, like, really, you think I'm good at this kind of stuff?
I was just gonna look at him. I was like, no, but I don't think I'm any better. You really want me to go up to that man? A girl like, oh, it's okay. She wasn't much of a loss. See, I can't.
Bubbles kind of points inside their mouth, and just you know what Bubbles is saying the whole time, and Bubbles is just trying to communicate, like, I can't even talk.
I think that's the benefit.
Yeah,
fine,
that's true.
Okay. Ghostly, I think this might be for you.
What's that then?
Like, go give Brian a hug.
Oh, Brian's upset because now Cynthia's in bits on the floor.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oscar will look at Ghostly and say, frog, horse, frog. Do you wanna frog, horse? Do you wanna go on top of the frog, horse?
Yeah, are you all right, mate?
Frog! On top, frog!
Do you hit your head?
Oh my god.
I will go next to Madame Sprout and just put my hands on top of the frog. Safe, very safe.
Eternal Oscar right now. Oh my lord. Okay. Here we go. Actually, I'm gonna move that just a little bit over there and just make this critter file thing. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Hello everybody. Welcome to Into the Multiverse. This is a... Am I recording my desktop audio? No, I'm not. No one heard you guys. Let's do it one more time. Okay, go back. There we go. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Into the Multiverse, a series of D&D campaigns that are all linked in the same world, but run along different multiverses, parallel universes, all in the same world. And this story is going to follow the story of the Evil Bottoms. Welcome. So to begin, I'm going to get everyone to just briefly introduce themselves, a tiny bit about their character, because we'll be actually getting to know them throughout this stream, so you don't have to give us too much. And if you don't want to give any introductions at all, that's okay. Just say pass on your turn, okay? So, yeah, no, well, I've got an order here. We're not going to roll initiative. Not yet. Calm down. Okay, so starting off, Sharis, would you like to introduce yourself and who you will be playing?
Of course, I'm first.
Of course you
Okay.
are. You are.
Hi, I'm Sharis. I'm also known as Blue on Instagram and Twitter, and today I am playing Little Mecky, who is a human gardener and a wild magic sorcerer.
Wow, that is perfect. Spot on. Thank you very much. And I have one question. Is Mecky a bottom?
Gabriel.
Perfect. Okay, good to know. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Well, you gotta be somewhat. You gotta have some bottom in you if you want to be a part of the Evil Bottoms. I'll ask no one else. Don't worry. I'll just make it. Cassiel,
Yes.
would you like to introduce yourself and who you'll be playing today?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I am Cass, also known as Cassiel. I play Elowin, a little 12-year-old kid. Seems to be human. You don't really know. She's very sweet, very, very kind. Yes, thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Cass. I won't be asking if she's a bottom or not.
Please don't.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. That was spot on. And yeah, lie as much as you want about your character. This is first impressions. So going now to David. Would you like to introduce yourself? And oh my God, yes.
I'm David, and I'm playing the Cracked Bell, who is an indescript man with a bell on his head. He's about 8 foot tall, and that's all you need to know.
Perfect.
And he is naked, is he?
Oh, he's mostly naked. He has
Okay.
a casket, and his chest as well. His chest is just there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chest is just there. Beautiful. Thank you very much, David. And now we have Rose. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit and your character?
Yeah, sure.
So hi, I'm Rose, also known as Roger Blue on Instagram. I've been playing D&D for a few years, but this is actually my first time with this group, so yay. And I will be playing this pink tiefling with a very big gun. They are very rich, and their name is Audacity.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Perfect. Spot on. Thank you very much. Woo! Okay, now moving to yourself. Can we use your name, Jojo?
Don't use your DM tweet. Yes, of course.
Okay. Juanjo, would you introduce yourself and who you'll be playing today?
Hello, my name is Juanjo. I'm actually not part of the stream. I'm actually a Spanish gremlin that crawled into your computer and is digging through your files right now. I'm trying to buy time until I find the porn folder. I'll be playing a bard, an elven bard. That it's a relatively known rock star. Very, very flamboyant, very loud. His name is Lujurio.
Beautiful. Lujurio. Thank you very much. That was spot on. Thank you very much. Woo! Okay, and now we have Patema, who has played in every single one of these Multiverse games. Who will you be playing today?
Hello, I'm Pema. I'm playing Knives for Hands Jones, who is a Gith Yankee who has knives for hands in place of, or they have knives in place of hands. Hence the name Knives for Hands Jones.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you very much. And up to yourself now, Jade, if you want to play this game or not. It's totally up to yourself. But would you like to introduce yourself, or do you want to wait till next week? Totally up to yourself.
No, I'll introduce myself.
Okay, take it away.
Hi, my name is Jade. I am playing a Ganassi monk called Drip. And basically all you need to know at this moment in time is that I'm a Ganassi who suffers from a lot of inner turmoil for not being a fire Ganassi, and instead has to deal with the existential crisis that she is unfortunately a water Ganassi, and more to come next week.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you very much. That is spot on, Jade. Thank you very much. Okay, so I get. Oh, my name. Hello. My name's Gabriel Galway, and I am the DM. I'm the dungeon master for Into the Multiverse for the majority of these games. I tell the story and throw in all the other characters that these characters meet. I create the adventure that all these heroes move through, or anti-heroes, or villains. I don't know what they're going to become. But I lay out the rules, the land, the world, and all of these wonderful players interact with it and live in it. So there's no recap here. So this is strange because I think in every stream we've done, I've been doing a recap. So this time I'm just going to jump straight into the story if everyone's ready. Are you all ready?
Sir.
Okay. So, to begin, Meki, you were at home, tending to your plants, doing all the usual Meki things. Very wholesome, everything's calm and peaceful. And Elowin is by your side. And all of a sudden, a few little white motes of light begin to spin around your body. For a second, it's almost like you've kind of stood up too fast and everything's a bit sparkly and twinkly, but it doesn't go away. The cracked bell. You are currently... What? I've forgotten, actually. I apologize. You're currently rambling. You're currently traveling, correct? Wandering the realms. Can people hear me? Or is everyone on mute? This is really spooky.
We're on mute, sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was just like... Oh. I got nervous there.
I was speaking and I didn't know I was muted.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably like somewhere in like a small village or town, like in an alley, sitting cross-legged with the bell on my head and rain falling if there is rain, and that kind of...
There can absolutely
that
be
kind
rain.
of vibe.
Perfect. Very kind of noir setting, hiding down an alleyway. The rain kind of tinking on your bell that is latched onto your head. And all of a sudden you start to now feel a different sensation along with the rain, these cool brushes of electricity along your skin. And everything becomes a little lighter and you start to feel like you're almost floating. And for a split second you think the bell is actually starting to unlatch from your head.
No.
Audacity. You are stumbling out of bed in this moment. It's late at night. Your head is spinning, and you're not sure currently what inn you found yourself in, but you're there kind of just making sure that you have all your bits and pieces. And Bottom, your little blue goblin who carries around all your gear, is curled up on a little fur rug, holding his little pouch of weapons that he carries around for you. And as you make your way over to him just to check to see if they're alright, you now start to see these motes of white light spin around you, brush across your skin, and now they start to grow and spin rapidly. And before you have a second to react, they're already whizzing around your entire body, consuming your vision in white light. Is it Lujorio? I pronounced that so wrong. Can you tell me Juanjo, what's your character's name again? It'll take me a little while to get used to it.
Lujurio.
Lujulio. There we go. Lujulio.
Lujurio.
What is Lujulio currently doing at this moment in time? Because
Probably giving a concert. That's all he does, really.
Perfect. So you are there currently outside this tavern, like on the roof of the tavern. You have a small gathering of people starting to gather around you, like, hey, who the fuck is this cool guy? And they're all starting to gather, and everyone's starting to now you're starting to really get into a rhythm with your music that you're playing. Your orb floating around you, playing these wonderful mixed tapes that you've made, and just blasting music across the town, and no one's ever heard anything like this. People are roaring your names. Everyone is now starting to throw like flowers and underwear and things your way, and all of a sudden your vision goes white as these motes of white light begin to whiz around you, just as you're coming to like the pinnacle point of this song, and all of a sudden everything goes white. Knives for Hand Jones. Currently, you've been tossed into your cell, not sure when you're going to be ripped out again to be cut up and put back together a million times over. And as you're there, still recovering from the whole thing, you look down at where your hands once were and see knives instead of hands. But then one of the blades catches the light in a peculiar way. This cell is completely dark, but there's this glimmer in your blade as this mote of light lifts off and now begins to buzz around your head very peacefully, and then it begins to whip faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, and all of a sudden you're caught in this hurricane of white light, cool electricity brushing off your entire skin, winds pick up, and all of a sudden your entire mind goes numb, completely blank, as does all of your vision at this very moment. And now you start to feel this pulsing sensation in your head. You feel slightly nauseous. And then as the white lights begin to dim down and your vision comes back to what it once was, you now find yourself surrounded by a strange motley crew. You look around and there's these runes carved into this stone platform that you now stand on that are just beginning to fade in color. They were glowing bright white along with these motes of light, but as motes of light begin to disappear, so do the runes. You look around, you get this smell of kind of rot, and you look up and you find this massive cage made of bones around you, and little bits of loose flesh still kind of hang off these bones. There's bits of hair and clumps of just molds attached to these railings all around you. You look around and you see this strange little crew, and I'll leave you lot take it from here for now.
Oh god.
I deserve this. This is hell, isn't it?
Oh god.
None of you
What
have
is
purchased the
this?
VIP pass. What are you doing here?
Have at me, demon. I care not.
I'm just squinting at the others and must still be drunk. I close my eyes and try to sleep.
You know, as you kind of try to go back to sleep, the little blue goblin that the rest of you see begins to wake up, bright pink eyes. You can see was originally wearing makeup, but it's all like askew on its face, and it looks around and looks at you as well, going back to sleep, and the blue goblin then kind of just copies and tries to tuck itself back in, pretending it's not there.
Mickey's gonna be holding Elowin's hand, kind of gripping it a bit tightly, just looking around like, what is this? And sort of looking at everyone going, hi!
Hello. Who are you? Where are we?
Oh, not children.
What
I
is
have
this?
no clue.
There's a
This
child.
place.
They have really done it this time.
Everyone is just kind of hearing that. She's just kind of gonna shuffle behind Mickey a bit, just kind of hiding, tugging his sleeve a little bit, just like, hold on, just like,
Mickey, where are we?
No, but it's not a problem. Not an issue. Who is everyone? Nice to meet you, by the way.
It's nice to meet you. I cannot shake your hand.
You now notice this peculiar creature has knives for hands.
Wow. Pretty cool.
Lufurio will scoot over towards the bell and just like kind of place his hands on his chest and be like, that creature has knives. Protect me, please. I don't know who you are. But you must. He kind of shuffles and tries to push the bell in front. Like, no, don't.
I can't protect anyone. This child.
I'm sure you can. Although blinded, you're big.
All that follows me is death. Run, little man, run.
What a bummer.
As you are taking in the surroundings now as well, after the initial kind of taking the bone cage that surrounds you and the people who are in there with you, looking around, you find yourselves in a pine woods. The night sky is a deep blue. The pine trees are dark purple. The pine needles are all a dark purple, and the trunk of the tree is even darker. The bark is even darker. And the grass is a deep aquamarine. And then off to the side, off to the left, is this small chuckling stream. And as it moves along the rocks, you can hear the sounds of laughing children replacing the sound of moving water. A small mist, as the kind of low mist is starting to creep in, and fireflies begin to move out from under the pine trees and fill the night sky. And you now
Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Do I recognize any of the plants?
give me a nature check.
Sure. Okay. Nature. It's a 10.
A 10. You recognize them as pine trees and grass, but you've never seen them this color before. Looking around, you see a few what look like just simple kind of white cap mushrooms growing below the base of some of these trees. A little bit of moss is on some of them, but nothing really that you've ever kind of. There's nothing that you think is peculiar apart from this place, apart from the color tone. Everything just seems like a slightly different color than what it should be.
Okay.
Can I sense if there's like something bad anywhere?
Yeah, give me
some bad vibes.
Yeah, give me I'm gonna get you to make a religion check.
Yeah.
Because this is like a passive ability instead for you.
18.
18. There is, although it's quite far away and fast approaching. You're not sure how long it'll take to be upon you, but just as you kind of come into focus with that, you sense something of the complete opposite of evil coming through the woods. Something large.
And that's not something bad.
Not something bad. You now start to see this very large bugbear in a sparkling what's the word? A tie-dye t-shirt. Has these metal egg shoulder pads. They're carrying a tray of cookies that look like they're red hot. They have these two pairs of egg mittens on. They're wearing a kilt. They're wearing gaita with socks. So socks and sandals essentially. Big red scarf. And they're dashing on over in a hurry towards you all. And as they do, they kind of just drop the cookies on the floor and start rummaging around in their bag for a key. You kind of see them pull out a key, and they say, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. My brother is quite the rascal. I'll get you all out as soon as I can." He's there, this massive man with this tiny key, kind of trying to open up this cage that you're all in. Just hold tight, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Elwyn is just kind of gonna like pull on Mickey's sleeve again, just kind of waiting for him to kind of lean down. I'm just gonna.
He's really good. He'll help, but there's something bad. There's something bad coming, Mickey. We have to leave.
It's me,
Okay.
child. It's me. Run while you can, for I don't know how long I can hold them at bay.
Mickey, I don't like him. He's scary.
I hold my knees and I
It's
clutch the
nothing
bell.
to worry about. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay.
Why is hell so full of children? There truly is no God.
I open one eye. It seems that I am, in fact, awake. I look at Bonk next to me.
Bonk kind of instinctively kind of knows when you're kind of like moving around a little bit, and opens one of its eyes as well, looks up at you, kind of wondering what to do. Like trying to pretend it's asleep.
I poke him just to test if he feels real.
It slaps you in the shin. What the hell? Why?
It's just testing.
Oh, what?
Never
I'm
mind.
just testing. And just gives you a big shove. I'm sorry.
He's still keeping one hand holding Evelyn. He's just gonna turn to the bugbear and be like, "Excuse me,
Yeah.
what is this?"
Where? You found yourself in our mother's forest. Bless your souls. This happens all the time. My brother, though, my family, they kind of like to, steal people like you who end up here. It's a wild phenomenon now. You should be keeping up to date with your history, with things going on in the world. I'll explain it as soon as I can. And he's really like he's got this like basically he's clutching this tiny key with his fingernails, and he keeps slipping, and he keeps trying to catch it, and eventually he does open the door. The cage swings open, and as soon as it does, you hear this noise from behind, and he's like, "Where are they? Where are they, brother? You'll never stop me." And you see now this tiny little green goblin in a child's pair of pajamas start to creep around the corner. And with that, he kind of clicks his fingers and says, "All right, boys. Looks like we got some fresh ones." And you now start to hear...
Excuse me.
What?
Rude.
Oh. You're gonna come with us now. And with that, you start to hear this like all around you in the forest, and all these little green figures now start to enclose in around you all. Can I get everyone to please roll initiative?
Oh shit. Oh no!
Oh.
Nice.
No!
We're the pajama squad.
Oh, there's loads
Yeah,
of
this
them.
is hell.
Is this how Cat's day went today in the?
Yeah.
Oh god.
I should have numbered all of these. Shit. This is the only thing I don't have stats. Whatchamacallit for individual tokens. So I think this works just as well. Okay, bear with me. I'm just gonna get up the stats for this thing. What's it called?
This is the one you based off of me, right?
Yeah.
Thank
You got it.
The accuracy's uncanny.
Thank you, huh?
Okay.
I'm so happy.
So, that's the wrong one. God damn it. Oh, ow, hit my ear. Why'd I have
We
to
are
make curry?
professional.
Alright, so, starting with Meki, what did you get?
I got a 5.
A 5! Beautiful. Okay. Elowin, what did you get?
Yeah. Well, I got a whooping 2, mate.
Oh! Okay. So bottom scores here. Bottom kind of 2 scores. Okay. The correct bell. What did you get?
This is for initiative.
Yes.
17.
Hey, nice. Audacity.
22.
22. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Starting well.
Yeah.
That's Goob got a 19. Oh, not Goob. Sorry. What am I saying? Bonk. It's 19. And then we have Luhorio. Luhorio. Luhorio.
There you go.
There we go.
10, baby, right in the middle. Bullseye.
Beautiful. And then Knives for Hans Jones.
9.
9. Beautiful. And perfect. So now I've got to roll. Oh, also for Fredericks. Fredericks got a 2. Or no, this is a 3 for Fredericks. And I gotta roll for all these freaking goblins. Okay. How many goblins did I put there again? 1, 2, 3.
They all take their tiny dice.
7. Thank you. Thanks. And then this thing. Okay. So this is a. Oh heck yeah. It's not bad. It's a 15, baby. And then these are all. Okay. 9. All right. So top of the round, Audacity. What do you do? Hello. Has my internet disappeared?
She's taking
Rose?
Rose?
Rosa.
My Discord.
Discord
Okay, so
is-
I'm up.
Yeah, you are. You're up first.
I think you
Okay.
are, yeah.
I scoot past the other players and I whip out my gun,
Okay.
aiming at the
Oh my
goblin who so rudely addressed me.
Perfect. So you're gonna shuffle through this kind of tight spot and then just start aiming this gun towards the goblin in the baby onesie. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to make an attack for me. I guess if that is what you're doing.
Yes.
Oh, actually, no. Before you actually make the attack,
Oh.
I need to get you to make a charisma saving throw for me, please.
Oh no.
God.
That's not my charisma. That's an 11.
Oh, just a little shy. As soon as you start pointing towards this very ugly baby goblin, you find yourself immediately enthralled by the creature. And you just, for some reason, you can't take the shot. You're just... This creature is so utterly perfect in your mind's eyes. You find your body falling onto its knees and bowing in its presence. And this big smile appears on the creature's face, like,
Yeah, I am the top.
and I'm very sorry, but you're currently charmed by this creature.
Nice.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so that is Audacity's turn, I'm afraid. Bonk is now going to... Bonk can't do anything. Bonk's going to rummage around in the bag and pull out a stick. And Bonk is going to... It's a very beaten up stick. It's kind of like... You're not sure what kind of material this thing is made out of. It's like a deep blue. It has loads of dents and gnarly bits all over it. It's just this random, nasty, long object that Bonk pulls out and starts to move over. It's like... Oh wait, that's the wrong voice. I'll stop them. Don't worry. And he kind of scoots himself out and makes his way over, brings up the stick and attempts to smash the creature. And then he's like, you're not very pretty, and tries to whack this thing. So, So as soon as he does try to whack the goblin, the attack goes completely off, and Bonk tumbles over, and now all of a sudden standing above Bonk, this weird goblin is just kind of laughing, hands on the hips, like... I'm getting all the voices mixed up. Well, your failure only makes me more powerful. And just kind of kicks Bonk off to the side. Bonk kind of rolls over, the bag kind of weighing Bonk down. Now looking up, trying to clutching its stick for just simply for defense now at this stage. The cracked bell. What are you doing?
I stay where I am. And I clutch the bell with my hands, and I weep, and I cry, and I just stay where I am, and that's my turn.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna give you an inspiration for that.
Usefulness.
And with that now, this weird creature who Audacity is now bowing towards, who Bonk has missed. It seemed as if Bonk's stick almost had passed straight through the creature. And now this creature, standing over Bonk, pulls out a scepter from its butt and now just brings it up and tries to whack Bonk with its scepter. And that is going to hit Bonk. So that is going to do... would you mind, Rose, keeping track of Bonk's health for me? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so...
How much does it have?
8.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So, with that... Oh! I'm sorry. Okay, Bonk's unconscious. Sorry, that was 8 damage. As this creature bonks Bonk, and Bonk just falls limp. And the creature just kind of chuckles, hands on hips. Yes. All bow to my power. Or die. Okay, that's that creature's turn. My name is Lord Goob. Brother, tell them resistance is futile. Okay, that's that. Knives for Hans Jones. Oh no, before there, Luhurio, it's your move.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
Lujuria will still hiding behind the bell. Like poke his head up and look at the creature. And be like, I didn't know Shrek and Yoda had a child, but looking like that, I know why they don't speak about you. It's a vicious mockery.
Oh, nice. As you do that, though, can you make me a charisma saving throw?
Of course.
All right.
That is a 17.
17. This thing just kind of looks at you chuts out its chin, trying to insert dominance upon you, but it's not. You're not having it at all. And its face then goes from, you thought it was wrinkled, but all of a sudden it just looks like it's eaten a whole lemon, and the whole face turns into like a raisin as it just seems to shriek in pain as it doesn't like this little insult that you threw at it. And what is the save for that?
The save. I am not used to playing casters, so let me check.
So it's going to be 8 plus 2, so it's going to be 10 plus your charisma modifier.
Oh, then 13.
Yeah, this thing fails. So can you roll for damage as this thing's face just shrinks up like,
No, I don't even know what a Shrek is.
Of course you don't. No, all of my dice. That is a 4.
Okay. So as you say this, it begins crying. Its face, it looks like it's aged like 60 years, and it goes really hunched over, and blood starts to pour from its nostrils and its eyes, and it's like,
No, why won't you praise me? I feel like you're insulting me.
And it starts like shivering and shaking, and now it kind of reels over and starts vomiting onto the floor.
Oh God! Why won't you love me?
And is that your turn?
And no, as my bonus action, I will look at Knives for Hands Jones and be like, those knives look very impressive. Wouldn't you like to try them on that green thing? I'm just gonna give him bardic inspiration.
Nice. All right. Beautiful. And with that, it is Knives for Hands Jones's turn.
Nice.
Knives for Hands Jones. Is the cage been opened?
The cage is just opened. Yeah, it's open now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I hop out the cage door then?
Yep.
And just look at the big bugbear guy?
Yeah.
And just say, I don't think you're supposed to do that. And can I stab him?
Oh.
Nice.
100%. Give me an attack roll, please.
Oh, that was a natural one anyway.
So, as soon as you do kind of bring this sword up, you find your sword kind of just clangs on this invisible barrier, and then you hear this crack noise as if an egg has been broken and shattered. And your sword all of a sudden has gone straight through the other side but never hit him or done any damage. And he looks down at you. He's like, I'm sorry, I just want to free you lovely people. What these little rascals will do to you is far, far worse. Is there anything?
Can I use my bonus attack to, and my bonus action to offhand attack? Also, the bugbear.
Okay. Sure.
And that's a 12 to hit.
That misses, I'm afraid. As it just you kind of just slap his stomach, and it's just like slapping stone. He is just built like a statue, and it's like his entire body is made out of marble, and it doesn't seem to faze him in any way. It's like, I'm sorry, I know that you must be upset. Here, maybe some of these cookies are still good. He starts to kind of bend over and try to dust off some of the cookies on the grass. Maybe that might help. Is there anything else Knives for Hands Jones would like to do?
Can I try pick up a cookie by stabbing the cookie?
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand check.
do I have disadvantage on those, like you said?
Yes.
Gabriel?
Yeah, you would have disadvantage. Yes.
Oh, that could have been so good. Well, then I got a 5.
Okay, so you try to kind of bring your two swords together, and you have it for a second, but then you just add too much pressure, and the whole cookie just crumbles between the two swords. And he's like, "Oh, let me help you there." And he picks up a cookie, and I'm just going to leave it here on your wrist. He attempts to then balance this one cookie on your wrist.
Well, it's more than just the hands, really. It's kind of...
It goes up a little bit. I guess
there's no wrist as such.
Well, here, this place looks good. And he's like, as you're kind of bringing your swords up, he's kind of just placing it further up the arm along the blade. And he's there just very carefully trying to balance. He's like, we'll get this one, don't worry. we'll get that cookie to you. All of a sudden, he has forgotten everything around him, and he's just focused on helping you. And with that, one of these creatures, these goblins, begin to approach him.
Stupid old man.
It just gets that little sword from its back. It just pulls out a dagger from behind itself and just starts stabbing him in the back. It's not one, and this dagger as well just kind of bounces again off this invisible shield. You hear this cracking noise, and the dagger flies from the thing's hand. And he's like, "Oh no!" And he tries to pick up a dagger amongst all the cookies. Another goblin is going to start approaching.
We'll get your flesh.
And this one is going to try to stab Luhulio through the bars. And it got a 13 to hit.
A what?
A 13, does it hit?
Wait a second, I forgot my own AC.
No worries.
Oh, it's actually my AC, it's 13.
Hey, okay, so if it meets it, it beats it. So it's going to roll for damage. And it... Oh, that's the wrong dice. So it does 2 damage to you as this thing just starts picking at you, like in your shin. And kind of just trying to cut your shin.
You can't walk without your legs. No more running for you.
Another goblin as well is starting to approach and now starts trying to attack the cracked bell. And that is a 15 to hit the cracked bell. Does that hit?
If I'm not wearing armor, then absolutely, yeah.
Okay. I assume you're not wearing armor. Unless you're wearing lots of armor on your lower half, which is probably where
I would
he's...
have had like stuff beside me, but I got teleported, so I'd say it's gone.
Oh shit! Okay, well it's up to you. If you wanted to have grabbed it just in time, you can. But...
Sure, but I'm still not wearing it. So
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Got it. All right. So that does. Okay. So that is 5 damage to you. As he just kind of nicks you right in the calf and just brings the dagger up like.
You're very right, Stephen. They won't be able to run without legs.
Do it, end it soon.
Oh my god. And then finally another goblin comes around. He's like,
"This cookie will be your last meal."
And he's actually going to use his action to just stab the cookie on your arm. So that's what is your AC? You got a 10 there. So I assume
my AC is 14.
Okay, so he is gonna he tries to grab you. Tried to attack the cookie. Oh fuck, what's cookie AC? No, we'll say it's 14. Same as your armor. He misses the cookie. He tries to stab the cookie very maniacally. Just misses, stumbling forward, and is like,
well, I'll just have to kill you then instead.
And another goblin is going to start coming down this way, and is going to take another jab at. Oh, Meki, yeah. You're
No.
there.
Oh no, he's gonna fucking die.
That's a 12. Does a 12 hit Meki?
There goes the boy.
Oh, yeah, that hit.
Okay, so as this little goblin runs over and just kind of with the full momentum just jabs Meki in the back, does 2 damage to Meki.
Okay, I'm still alive.
You're so soft.
Barely.
And tasty. I can smell you from all the way over here.
And he pulls out the dagger and just starts licking the blade. Very anime style.
Oh, no.
And then this one's like,
The child is mine.
and it's actually going to try to grapple you. It's just going to try to grab your hair. So I'm going to get you to make either an acrobatics check or an athletics check. Up to yourself.
Oh, it's gonna be acrobatics.
Not help her at all.
Unfortunately not. You might be able to break them out of it, but at the moment it's kind of just you're already being stabbed from behind, and then this other goblin's just come out of nowhere, and is now grabbing Alwyn's hair. So what did you get?
Well, I got a whooping 12.
Well, they got a 4. So they're just reaching in the cage, like pressing their face against it, just trying to grab you.
Soft flesh, give me.
And you just kind of, you manage to back away from the cage just in time as these nasty little hands are trying to grab you. And it is now Meki's turn.
Okay, he's going to I'm going to put Elwyn in front of me to kind of shield her a bit.
They
and
went towards
I would
the
like to
cage. I was like, oh no. Sorry.
Magic missile.
Shoot. Wait, you cut off there, and all I heard was dick missile, but I assume you said magic missile.
Magic missile.
Okay,
yes.
cool. How many targets can you choose, or who are you targeting?
I'm targeting the 3 goblins behind me.
Okay, perfect. So you roll a d4 for each one, and you can add 1 to each one of those. I believe. I might be wrong.
Yes, that's
Okay.
right. Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, first one is 3.
All right.
Second one is 5.
Oh wow, shoot.
And the third one is also 5.
Okay, so with this, these 3 bolts just fly into each one of them. Like one goes right into the middle one's eye as it kind of falls away with the dagger. Like lets go of the dagger, just brings his hand up to its eye, just oh God. And the other ones just both get like shot in the guts, and they kind of both keel over, just kind of holding their sides and rocking back and forth. Just
Okay. Just go. Just go. Go.
They're all 3 of them are now on the floor, just crying and cradling themselves. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'm just going to hold Elwyn close to my chest, and he's just going to look over his shoulder like, away with you! Oh my god, like, away, go away!
Give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Intimidation is that is a not natural 20.
Oh shoot! So that like as you say this to them as well, away with you, they're already like just waving their hands and just crawling along the floor. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
and they just start crawling away, and then you see the other what seems to be the ringleader with the wrinkled face just
It's like, what are you doing? We nearly have them.
and his eyes are still bleeding blood, and his nostrils are still bleeding, and the other's like,
No, man, we didn't expect them to retaliate so furiously. We're out. Another time. I lost my eye, you bastard.
and these 3 all kind of start just crawling away. Okay. Perfect. Now it's Frederick's turn, and Frederick picks up another cookie and just places it in your mouth. There you go. They're almond cookies. I hope you're not allergic. And he's there, kind of bringing it up to Nice Rans Jones's mouth. So
to my mouth.
yeah.
But he was giving it to Meki.
I know. No. So to Nice for Hans Jones, he brings up this cookie and.
Okay, can she grab it with her mouth?
Yeah, absolutely. Bite into it. It's a beautifully buttery cookie you've never had.
She's not gonna bite into it.
Okay.
Just to hold it in her mouth.
Gotcha. Fair enough. So he brings up the cookie, and as soon as he knows it's kind of like set in place, he kind of releases. He's like, "There you are. Perfect. Look at that. Nice old cookie for the lady with the swords." Oh, and he kind of looks down at now the unconscious blue goblin. He's like, "Just hold on a second," and he starts rubbing his mittens together, and then kind of takes each of them off, and his hands are now kind of glowing red. And he places them on the unconscious blue goblin and starts massaging his face, and then you see life kind of return to Bonk's eyes as Bonk is now back up with 5 HP. And Bonk's just kind of on his back, just looking around, just. And that's his turn. So now we go to Elwyn. What would you like to do?
Finally. Well, she's still kind of just she doesn't really know what's happening. She can hear a lot, but she is blind, so she can't see shit.
Okay.
So she just she's still against Meki's chest, but she did notice that she can sense that he's hurt. She's just like, oh no. And I would like to cast Cure Wounds on Meki.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh wait, I actually don't know what my spellcasting modifier is.
It's your wisdom modifier.
Oh, epic. Okay, hold on. That is a 7.
Okay, how would you like to
7.
flavor this? How do you...
She'll place her hand on his chest, and softly just this kind of light starts emanating from her hand a little bit. It's like a mix of pinks, but as it kind of heals him, it turns like a very, very angry pink, and it looks a little bit unstable for a second, but then it goes back down and just it's a soft light.
Okay. So as the
He's
wound...
just gonna...
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go right ahead.
Becky, because he obviously feels better now, he's just gonna cup Elowin's cheeks and just go, thank you, and give her a smooch on the forehead.
And as that wound finally does heal up, the final thing that heals it up is just these few sparks of pink electricity that then flutter off, and there is no sign of there ever being a wound. Okay.
Ooh.
Anything else Elowin would like to do?
No.
Okay. And to the creature next turn. Okay. So we're back to the top of the round, and unfortunately, Audacity is still under the influence of this creature until the end of her turn. His turn. Or their turn. What would oh my god, the names. I'll get used to this. These are all new players. What would Audacity like to be doing right now? Not like to be doing, but what is Audacity doing right now?
I suppose they're still still bowing before the ones they got. I mean, did he specifically tell me not to attack anyone else? Like...
No.
Oh, well, in that case, I think I'll get up and aim at another goblin.
Oh, but someone charmed by this creature does have to use their action to praise them. Actually, sorry. I'm sorry, I just read it there. Yeah.
What the fuck?
This is a really bastard monster.
What is this? Okay, well then.
I am Goob.
Well, never mind then.
I'm sorry. That is the
Keep
effects
on
of this
worshipping.
creature. Okay, cool. So, unfortunately, Audacity is just still charmed by this creature known as Goob, and Goob's face begins to soften off. The blood kind of stops bleeding out of its eyes as it kind of wipes them clean, and it seems to be kind of relaxed now a bit more that someone out of this group is praising them, and it begins to calm down and stop shaking.
Better. Yes, very good.
Okay. Bonk. Do you want to control Bonk, or are you happy Bonk does whatever they
I
want?
don't have his stats.
He's got the same stats as a goblin, so just with that. So it's 8 health. He's a little tougher than a goblin, and they have here. I can send you a picture if you like.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
How much does this stick do?
It's a d6 plus -1. Sorry.
Oh, D6 -1.
Yeah. So I will send you a picture here. So these are the goblin stats. Okay. Unless Bonk is allowed to use any of the weapons in the bag.
Oh, he totally is.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know. So I'll leave you
I mean,
control.
especially now, since
Yeah.
the rest won't be safe.
It's true.
But I mean, sure. Guess Bump will try to hit the goblin again.
Okay.
Maybe with more luck this time.
So I'll get you to roll another charisma saving throw against this goblin.
Oh, it's a 16.
16, perfect. So even there, where it's got its arms up, it's kind of closed its eyes, it's like,
Yes. More please.
you can make an attack roll against this creature.
Okay. Oh, natural 20.
Oh shit! Nice. So with that, Bonk does max damage. You can either double the dice or double the damage. It's up to yourself. You can roll the dice twice or double what you've rolled.
Okay, that's 3 damage. I'll just double that.
Okay,
So
how
6
would
damage in total.
Bonk like to do this?
Yeah.
He, like wildly swinging. Like he went down once and now he's back again. He's really angry now.
Perfect. Okay, so as soon as Frederick heals him up, his eyes open, blink for a second. Immediately, Bonk kind of grabs the stick, kind of heaves themselves up onto its legs again, and runs back over to the creature, just wildly swinging, just, ah! And just smashes the creature across the face. The creature immediately goes limp and collapses to the floor in just like a just completely unconscious, completely motionless, and just a bit of blood is now coming out, like pooling below its head. And Bonk just stands over there, kind of heaving, just. Yeah, beautiful. And as soon as this creature goes down, you then see all the other goblins around the place begin to scream, and they start backing up like. And they all start dropping their weapons and start turning and running away. Beautiful. The cracked bell. It's your turn.
I look around, apparently seeing nothing really. In my head. I hear all these chaotic noises. Like, what am I doing? People are surely dying. I must defend. I mustn't make any more mistakes. And I grab the small man in front of me.
Lilo.
Le Julio. Le Julio?
Oh, this. Oh, you're grabbing him.
Should have
Instead.
chosen a
Sorry.
better name. Oh, you got me. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Yes, I grab you in one arm, and then in the other arm I take out my little mace, and I try to bonk one of the things on the head. Stay away, you beasts! You cast the first strike against this beautiful creature.
Oh my.
Oh my god. Wow. Okay, give me an attack roll.
Okie dokie, let's see how this goes. Oh, 25 critical. Holy shit.
Wow. So,
Okay.
they double the dice for double damage.
Damn,
Up
I
to you.
really care about you. That's 12
Julio's
points of
impressed.
damage.
How would you like to do this?
I'd like to not know, and I'd like to smash his skull in.
Oh my god. So bring this 8-foot-tall man, grabs you and holds you to his chest as he cracks through all the bone structure of this cage. One femur after the other just snaps under the pressure of this club, and you see the other creature now turning up at the last minute. Its eyes widen as it sees this tiny little mace, about the same size of its own head though, crash down onto his face, crushing it like a watermelon, and continues to cleave through the pajamas and just splits it in two as gore flicks up onto the other goblin who was beginning to run away at this stage. And now just a little bit kind of flies into its eye blinks, and as it sees its companion just absolutely eviscerated, there's only little bits of it left.
I begin to
Lucky,
sob.
yes.
You what, sorry?
I begin to sob gently, and tears stream down my massive chest.
Oh my god. These warm tears as well, kind of just would also probably be dripping and pooling on your face that's now squashed into this Goliath of a man's chest.
I whisper, "Please forgive me."
Oh my lord. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so that thing is dead. So at this stage, Knives for Hands Jones, what are you doing?
You're muted, Patema.
I forgot I was muted. With the cookie in my mouth and the cookie balancing on my sword, I'm gonna turn to this little goblin thing and just be like, "Oh fuck." Yeah, cookie.
Yeah, actually, give me a persuasion check.
That is a 4.
A 4. Its eyes kind of widen for a second, and then it also sees like that the cookie is on your sword, and it immediately its face kind of wrinkles up and it starts shaking its head like, no, please.
Okay. Well, seeing as that didn't work, then I'll stab the goblin.
Nice.
Give me an attack roll, please.
I got an unnatural 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, give me the damage.
That is 5 piercing damage.
Okay.
Or slashing damage. Or
Slashing
whatever it
damage.
is.
So as you kind of stab into its gut, the little cookie then kind of just rolls down the rest of your sword arm, kind of bounces off its little pot belly as it looks down now at this sword coming out of its stomach, and it just starts coughing blood that drips down onto the blade, onto the cookie. The cookie begins to go soft and soggy and turn into little bits on the end of the blade, and it looks back up at you trembling, still alive, clutching the blade. Please, I don't want to die.
Can I spit the cookie out of my mouth onto the goblin?
Yeah.
And then offhand attack it with my other sword.
Oh my god. So this cookie just bounces off its head. It's kind of like a little bit of crumbs go in its eyes. It's blinking frantically. What did you get in the next attack?
But I only got 12 on that.
Holy shit. Goblins have a lot of armor. But they're not... I'm not a shield. No, still you wouldn't hit it. Okay, no, that just misses as it kind of like flinches away as the blade just kind of flies over and misses just one of its ears. Yeah, and it pulls itself away, kind of like throws itself off your blade, kind of stumbling backwards, and blood now just begins to pool up in its pink onesie, and it's just clutching its stomach, trying to run away from you. I don't want to kill this. Anything else you'd like to do? Nice rounds, Jones.
No, that's everything.
Okay. Alrighty then. So we have that goblin is now going to try to just run away. So it's this one, yeah. So it's going to try to run away into the woods. You can take an opportunity attack if you would like.
Oh, I would like actually to take an opportunity.
So as it stumbles backwards, kind of holding its tummy, wobbling away.
I got a 23.
That's gonna hit you.
And that is 4 damage.
And you just cleave it down the spine. It doesn't really get very far. It continues wobbling for a few feet and then just splats on its face. That's like a little starfish. And it is dead. Oh, wrong one. Dead. Okay. The next one over here is now kind of like trying to sneakily back off while its brother is just being obliterated, and it's going to try to go off into the mist. But you could try to take an opportunity attack if you would like.
Can I kick him on the face?
Yeah, go for it. It's unarmed attack. So add your strength modifier to this.
Strength. That is not much. That is a 16.
That's gonna hit, yeah, absolutely. So you just do, what is your strength modifier? That's how much damage you'll do.
Oh, 0.
Okay, you just managed to give it a kick of spite in the back of the head. It's just, I'll say it does a minimum of 1. Is it? Yeah, this one. So there's okay. So yeah, you clock it in the back of the head. It stumbles forwards like crying, just wiping bits of blood and gore off its face. Okay. Oh, they're all dead. Huh. Okay. And with that, you're out of combat.
Oh my goodness.
Well done, you big hunky man.
I immediately get up and dust myself as if nothing happened.
I'll give you an inspiration. Bonk immediately as well comes running over and just like, just looking at its stick in both hands.
Yes. Well done, Bonk. Okay, great.
cookie.
You look good too. Oh my god.
I would like to get out of the cage, please.
Sorry,
With
Ella
Ella.
Yeah, sure.
Are there more cookies on the ground?
There are a few cookies. Some have been trodden on.
Can
But
I
there's about
can
three.
I like crouch down, like holding myself up with the knives, like both swords in the ground, and just lower myself down to a cookie and grab one with my mouth?
Absolutely. Yeah, that will
and
make
eat
it
it?
roll. Yeah, absolutely. You can just start munching away at them. He's like, Frederick as well squats down beside you. He's still about twice the height of you as he does. Ah, I see you've got a thing for my cookies. I could make more later if I get a nice oven or a nice fire going.
Knives for Hands Jones' eyes widen a bit because they've never had cookies before.
They're really good.
They're just like,
Yes, more of these, the cookies. Yes.
Oh, very good. Yeah, certainly, absolutely. We'll get a nice fire going. We'll get, and no one's ever really liked my cookies. Poor old Goob though. And he makes his way over to the now possibly dead goblin, and he picks him up in one of his hands. Kind of he's so massive that he picks up this tiny little goblin. The goblin fits almost perfectly in his hand, kind of going over the edges a little bit, and it's totally limp. Oh my. Yes. And he just pops him on his shoulder. Well, I suppose we can have some cookies now, or we can get you home.
No, I stay here. I stay here. More cookies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I'll go get some firewood. And he kind of waddles off into the woods.
Is no one going to explain what's going on?
Does anybody know?
As that happens, a doe begins to walk into the glade. And as it does, the winds begin to pick up around it. And you watch then as this mother doe bursts into particles. These brown particles begin to whip around as if they're in some sort of small hurricane. And just as quick as it explodes and disappears, it reforms now into this tall, beautiful woman with antlers and cloven feet. The lower half of its body still deer-like. You now see this beautiful woman in brown hooded robes, and she begins to approach all of you.
Would I know of her?
Yeah, give me a religion check.
Hold on, let me try to get the stats. There we go. That is a 17.
17. You would know the mother doe. Absolutely. She is basically the patron saint of the Vale. She is the most notorious god in the Vale, and she is the goddess of life. All life comes from her.
And I can't see her, but I guess I can sense her presence, like the divine.
Yeah, you can sense this like incredibly bright light. It almost completely blinds you to all other senses. It's been described to you before, to people who have claimed to have met her in conversations that you've had with other people, and they said they've described this exact feeling, and you can pinpoint it right now, and you just know instinctively this is the mother doe.
Elwyn is gonna, again, just very excitedly, because she's a little kid, she's just gonna kind of shake a little bit with excitement and tuck Mickey's heart quite hard, just like, Mickey.
Mickey will kind of. He hasn't really realized that the mother doe is kind of behind him, so he will look over his shoulder and go, "Oh my god!" Just kind of start going from foot to foot, like tip, like.
You just get a very soft smile appears on Mother Doe's face, and you can see her eyes are just these glowing balls of silver light, and she gives a little nod. Hello, my children. Seems you're all
Are
a
you
bit
here for the
lost.
cookies?
Ah, she slowly lowers herself down and picks up a cookie. Kind of eats it, munches it in front of you. Delicious. Did you enjoy these cookies?
Yes, can I have that one?
Sure. And she kind of reaches out behind your head and she pulls a cookie from behind your ear. There you are, my dear.
I did not know there was one there.
Yes, you better
She'll
clean
just
your
eat
ears.
the cookie out of the mother doll's hand.
She's standing there kind of just feeding you the cookie, and she looks to the rest of you. It seems you're all a little lost. I can tell you how to go home. This is a common occurrence these days, as Titus is causing quite the ruckus in the Vale, opening and closing portals again and again. And unfortunate souls like yourselves have a tendency to blink in and out of existence and reappear somewhere else where they shouldn't be. And so now it's my job to bring you all back home. If you follow this stream all the way along to Caterpillar Falls, you'll find the portal there. I know Titus isn't there until sunrise, so you have until the sun returns to get back into that portal and get yourselves home.
No, I'm fine. I'll stay here and eat the cookies.
Well, if that's what you would like to do, you can stay here with one of my dear followers, Fredericks. He's a dear boy. He'll look after you well. As for the rest of you, if you'll want to go home, feel free to follow this stream. It should bring you home. Fredericks knows the way. He can guide you. Are all of you okay? Are any of you hurt?
Lujurio will climb out from the bell's grasp, gonna slap him in the ass and be like, "Well done, big boy, but I'm sure you can do better next time, okay?" Just like sneakily tries to charm him.
It's
and he makes his way over.
Give an inspiration.
I am being tested.
So you said we're not home. Where are we then?
You're in my glade. This is you're in the Vale, to put it broadly, but more precisely speaking, you are. Let me just refer to my notes. You're in Nopade, the woods of Nopade.
That makes no sense for me, lady.
Well, it's my woods, my realm. Not far from here, though, is a small town called Tavenlock. It lies just west. No, east. Just east of Caterpillar Falls. If you want to find civilization, you can find it there. If you have no need to return to where you once were. I don't know if that helps much. But you... yes.
Yes, Mother Doe, you asked if anybody of us were hurt. The scary one with the crying one is hurt.
Emotionally or physically, my dear? She gives a little smirk and she kind of floats on over. She seems to almost drift over the floor. She doesn't seem to be. Her steps don't match up with the pace that she moves at, and the wind seems to follow her, and leaves continue like behind her. She reaches through the bars and floats up, kind of straightens out her back, and as she straightens up her back, you find that she's all of a sudden the same size as this 8-foot tall man. She brings her hands over the bell, and their hands slip through, and for the first time in a long time, you feel the embrace of warm hands on your face, and a thumb just strokes your cheek and wipes the tears from your eyes. And as they come away as well, the wound on your leg feels warm, and you can feel it start to stitch close, and the rest of you watch as little vines kind of start to wrap around his leg, and these bright green kind of luminous spectral vines wrap around, and as they kind of peel away and die, the leg is completely healed. There you are, my dear. Look after
I
yourself.
take a knee and I just bow my head and say, I don't deserve this. You don't understand. You don't know what I've done.
I don't. Unfortunately.
I need to repent.
Okay. You do that.
Feel the pain.
Oh.
I'll take out a little knife and I'll cut myself again.
Oh my god.
Nice,
Alright.
hey.
Give me the damage roll. You don't have to make an attack.
Sure.
Self
You don't
attack.
I am 7 points of damage.
Wow. Okay, so you take 7 damage. And she kind of looks just at you a little sadly, kind of puts her hand on the bell and strokes it and starts to move away. She kind of looks at all of you one by one, and then she kind of goes to Audacity and moves on over, and she pulls out a vial from her belt, and with that she now flicks in just this kind of white mist from her fingertips and swirls it around, puts a cork in the vial, tilts it back and forth, and now it begins to shine this bright silver color, and she places it in your hands. If any of these are to fall, place this lotion on their tongue a few moments after their death, and they should come back. However, these disturbances in the Vale with all these portals, they've thrown my powers off slightly. I'm not sure if it will work or won't work, but I feel like you may need it. And
I glance at Bonk.
Bonk kind of looks up. He just kind of like scratches his ass and kind of burps.
But I put it in the bag.
Yeah. Thank you.
He kind of snatches it from your hands and just shoves it in the bag with all the swords and blades and crossbows, and you hear it ting 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 like bounce around inside.
I nod at the woman.
Okay. She kind of gives it a nod back. Follow the river if you do want to go home. Otherwise, the forest is yours. And enjoy the cookies. And with that, she phases back through the cage, and the gust picks up again. She turns back into a deer and scampers off again into the woods.
That was weird.
Just as that moment, Fredericks comes back as well with like hands full of broken twigs and stuff. Sorry.
Your mom was here.
Oh, really? Where is she? I haven't seen her. Hope she's okay. I don't know how to break the news to her about old Goob. He seems okay though. I've laid him by a tree and he should come to again. He'll be fine. But we have some cookies to make. And he starts laying out the sticks and trying to build a small little fire. He's got his little flint and steel, just trying to spark it off. So.
Actually, my mother came to see us and said that you could take us home.
She did.
What was it? The Butterfly Falls? Is it
Oh,
Aloe?
butterfly. Oh, the Caterpillar Falls, yes. There's lots of butterflies
Wait.
there.
Which way can we go?
No, we just follow the stream, the direction it's going. It runs right into that waterfall. I mean, it's not far. It's maybe, say, on foot. We can get there in about 7 hours, 8 hours, perhaps. It's easy enough. Stroll in the park, you might say.
Is anyone else going to these falls?
I am.
Wasn't there a town in the way? I would like to go to a town. I would like to make
It
some
was-
gold.
It was near the falls, no?
Yes, there is a town, Tavenlock. Lovely people, very wholesome. Some strange shops, but absolutely, there's a lovely little town. I know the man Grill, He's a wonderful blacksmith. Made me these egg shoulder pads to protect me out here.
You can take us there, can't you, Frederick?
Yes, I certainly can. Easy peasy. It'll be an honor to help such wonderful individuals such as yourself.
Good.
Is there gold to be made, perhaps?
Gold?
In the town?
Oh, I'm sure there's a few odd jobs here and there. The whole place is a bit of a fixer-upper, if you don't mind me saying, but they often have had a lot of issues with the likes of my brothers. They come and they go and they steal and get people to dance for them, all that kind of stuff. That should probably stop. I'm sure they'd be happy if that stops. Sure, you can definitely find little odd jobs here and there. So the cookies, are we making? We're not doing the cookies yet.
We make cookies in the town.
Oh, fair enough. Sounds good to me. And he starts gathering up the sticks and popping them in one of his bags. I could take you there, no problem.
Mickey's just going to crouch down, just squat in front of Elowen and take her hands and just very softly go, Elowen, you okay going to a town together? You can put your hood up if you like.
She's gonna just quickly let go of Mickey's hands, put the hood up, and then kind of move her hands a little bit around there until they land on his hands again, and just I'm just gonna turn to, kind of turn her head in the direction that she heard Fedrickson, and she's just gonna be like,
Thank you, Mr. Fedricks.
Pleasure, my lady. And he bows down in kind of one knee. I can give the lady a piggyback if her legs tire. And he tilts his little egg fedora in her direction.
she's gonna grab Mickey's hands a little bit more excitedly, like,
Can I?
Okay. Here we go. And with his mitten hand, he kind of picks you up and just lifts you up with the one hand and kind of soars you through the air. It's like, here comes the birdie landing, and he just places you on his shoulder.
Let's fucking go.
And he gets his scarf as well and kind of ties the loose ends of the scarf around you to kind of as like a safety belt. He's like, there you are, all tucked in.
Nice.
Don't worry, I'll be right next to you. He'll just give her like a little tap.
I can fit you in here too, little boy. Young man, excuse me.
Can I go in too?
Of course. I'll fit you right here on the shoulder. And he
You're just sitting on fried egg.
Yeah. There we go. Are you ready? And a 1 and a 2. And he kind of sits his arms under your like armpits, and he kind of just like starts lifting you up a little bit at a time. You can tell he's kind of like making it feel like you're heavy, but he could just literally like throw you up in the air if he wanted to. And he just kind of scoops you up and he kind of land onto his shoulder. He's like, I haven't a safety belt for you, young man, but I assume you will be careful up here.
Yes, thank you. Oh god, this is so fun.
You are slightly too large for the shoulder. You kind of have to like grab around his face a little bit to kind of balance. You're like half your ass cheek is kind of falling off, but it is kind of you two managed to fit on the shoulder nonetheless.
Nice.
Let's fucking go.
Right, 2 passengers, and we have the rest of the crew. Is everybody ready to go?
Do the children have to come? This cutesy thing is it just scoffs and goes away.
Does somebody want to hop on too?
Just like goes back to the bellboy.
The bellboy.
Actually, is the stream still laughing?
Is the stream? Oh, I thought you meant the Twitch stream. The stream is still laughing. Yeah. The stream is still chuckling, like kind of these ghostly children just chuckling away.
When we were walking off, can I nudge the cracked bell with my elbow?
Okay.
I have elbows, and just say,
I think the stream is laughing at you because you have a bell on your head.
I laugh. There's always laughter in my ears, and not the kind that you like to hear.
Jesus.
Maybe you should take the bell off.
I think I'll keep it here, where it needs to be.
Okay.
I must pay for my mistake. I cannot bear to see the light of the beautiful day after what I've done.
Why do you keep it there anyways? And he'll like, dong dong. Hit him with his knuckles.
He doesn't flinch at all. Just a little more tears fall down.
Impressive.
Well, Fredericks is kind of like a bit nervously waiting. He's not really sure how to react to any of this, just kind of bobbing up and down.
He has all the nice, cute things, and we're just insulting this poor man.
Well, if you're all ready, I suppose. Shall we?
Yeah, let's get going.
All right, absolutely. Adventure awaits. And you begin heading off through the woods, following the river. Okay, so I'm dragging you all down here. How long have we been going? Does anyone want to take a break for a few minutes at all? We have to keep it.
Sure.
I could take a 15-minute break or something.
Okay, take a small little bathroom break here. Okay, perfect. All right, people in the stream, we'll come back in about 15 minutes. See you in a bit.
BRP Twitch.
Okay.
Oscar will look at Ghostly and say, "Frog, horse, frog. Do you wanna frog, horse? Do you wanna go on top of the frog, horse?"
Yeah, are you all right, mate?
Frog! On top, frog!
Do you hit your head?
Oh my god.
I will go next to Madame Sprout and just put my hands on top of the frog. Safe, very safe.
Eternal Oscar right now. Notice that Bubbles does a thing where the sides of Bubbles' mouth kind of stretch to the sides and curl downwards and you can sense what Bubbles is thinking, really, you think I'm good at this kind of stuff?
I was just gonna look at him and was like, no, but I don't think I'm any better. You really want me to go up to that man? A girl like, oh, it's okay, she wasn't much of a loss. See, I can't.
Bubbles kind of points inside their mouth. And just you know what Bubbles is saying the whole time, and Bubbles is just trying to communicate. I can't even talk.
I think that's the benefit.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Ghostly, I think this might be for you.
What's that then?
Go give Brian a hug.
Oh, Brian's upset because the Xintas and bits on the floor.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god. Okay.
Oscar will look at Ghostly and say, "Frog, horse, frog. Do you wanna frog, horse? Do you wanna go on top of the frog, horse?"
Yeah, are you all right, mate?
Frog! On top, frog!
Do you hit your head?
Oh my god.
I will go next to Madame Sprout and just put my hands on top of the frog. Safe, very safe.
Eternal Oscar right now. You would notice that Bubbles does a thing where the sides of Bubbles' mouth kind of stretch to the sides and curl downwards and you can sense what Bubbles is thinking really, you think I'm good at this kind of stuff?
I was just gonna look at him and was like, no, but I don't think I'm any better. You really want me to go up to that man? A girl like, oh, it's okay, she wasn't much of a loss. See, I can't.
Bubbles kind of points inside their mouth and just you know what Bubbles is saying the whole time, and Bubbles is just trying to communicate I can't even talk.
I think that's the benefit.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Ghostly, I think this might be for you.
What's that then?
Go give Brian a hug.
Oh, Brian's upset because now Cynthia's in bits on the floor.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Beautiful. We're back to the evil bottoms. Hello everyone. We just took a small break. So just to recap very quickly, this motley crew was randomly teleported from all over Gostar, the world where everything takes place in. They've been teleported to this woods. Strange woods with purple trees, teal grass and dark blue skies, and a river that chuckles like children. They found themselves in a cage made of bones, and after some brief introductions and a giant bugbear man came up to unlock them from the cage, they were attacked by a group of goblins known as the Pajama Gang. They managed to pretty much slaughter every single one of those goblins, and their leader, who seemed to be called Goob, who seemed to be somewhat related to this giant bugbear called Fredericks. The Mother Doe then approached everyone here and told them how they can get home if they want to. There's a portal that there's a stream that will guide them to a waterfall known as the Caterpillar Falls, and at that waterfall, there is a portal that can bring them home. However, there's also a town nearby, if that's also somewhere they want to go, that they can make some money and see where they go from there. So Fredericks is now leading them through this forest with Meki on one shoulder and Alwyn, the small 12-year-old blind girl, on his other shoulder. And he's been leading you now through this woods for about 2 or 3 hours. You've been kind of just moseying on through, taking in everything. But what you start to notice as you're going through this woods is more and more of it is becoming more and more desaturated. The grass is this dull, sickly grey. The pine trees are starting to go this grey, dull, blacky colour, and more pines are falling from them. And even the path that you walk along is kind of like covered in this thin layer of kind of golden slime that kind of fits itself between the rocks in the path, and that you've now found yourself on. And the stream also that you've been following is becoming more and more maniacal, the children's laughter that's coming from it. And you start to continue through here until you come up to now in view this large cliff face begins to appear at the end of this path, before the path itself veers off towards the left, and this bridge crosses over the stream, which glows this dull purple. It seems to be somewhat magical, and it's the only real light source apart from the fireflies and the moon. This is the only other light source that's now currently around you. But on the road, scampering away from you, you now see a little goblin, one of the Pajama Gang goblins, on top of this hideous little beast, and he's kind of just and he's kind of pulled the beast up in front of you lot. He kind of looks at you, makes eye contact with you, and kind of gives a little chuckle, turns the beast around, and continues running away from you lot. And straight away, I'm going to actually get you all to roll initiative, please. If you want to fight him, it's totally up to yourselves. You don't have to. Because there's a lot of you, I might get you all to just roll initiative anyway, just so we can keep track of everyone's turns, maybe. So, starting with Meki, what did you get? 17, nice. Elwyn? 13, okay. The Cracked Bell. 9. What did Audacity get? 9 as well, okay. For Bonk. Bonk got a 6. Luhorio. Yes. Bonus inspiration to the DM. Ah, shit. Wait, are you? Oh, you are. That's weird. I don't know why that is. Sorry, I'm very sorry about that. We're going through initiative.
Just people saying numbers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just people going around their initiative. So we have Meki 17, Elwyn 13, Cracked Bell 9, Audacity 9, Bonk is 6, Luhorio is 21. And then Knives for Hands Joan, KFHJ, which I've written down.
You didn't write down their full title.
Because it would take up the entire length of my whiteboard.
Well, she got a 22.
Oh wow, nice one. Damn.
Yeah.
Maybe you're going to break your curse finally and not roll low.
I've needed to play a monk.
Yeah. And then Frederick. I got that's a solid 11. Beautiful. Wonderful. And little goblin running away has got a 16, and weird beats that is on it is okay. Then if you can hear the toilet there running, and then we got okay, cool. Okay, and then one more thing. Okay, got it. So, taking first initiative, we're going to go to Knives for Hands Jones.
Oh, yeah.
You see this thing just, start running away. Just look at you, and then it's like fears struck on their face. They're kind of running towards you initially, and then as they see you now in the distance, they like manage to stop the beast, turn it back around, and start running off in the other direction.
can I run up Fredericks and use him to dive towards the pajama goblin?
Oh, yeah. All right, give me an athletics check.
I got natural 20.
Holy shit! All right. Oh my god. Nice. Okay, so just instantaneously, Knives for Hands Jones runs up the back of him like Prince of Persia style, flips over, and then comes down, 2 swords in hand, towards this creature. I would have gotten you to roll with a disadvantage, but just with the natural 20, I'll get you to roll just straight roll. And you can also add your proficiency to the damage.
Oh, okay. That is a 16 to hit.
16 to hit. That does just hit it as you just come down, 2 blades in hand towards this little creature. Just gives a little not expecting that at all.
That's 8 points of damage.
Wow, how do you want to do this?
Right through the chest.
Oh my god, so just
both knives.
You fly down, both knives, like you just spear through this thing's chest. It's knocked off the creature itself. Poor Carl is splatted onto the ground, pinned to the ground, kind of rides for a second. Yeah. they all have names. So where are you, Knives for Hands Jones? Yeah, you could just jump straight towards this creature, shoot both of your Knives for Hands into its chest, pinning it, and its whole body just rides for a split second. More that like it's just the nerves going wild, and then just falls limp. And with that, the weird creature now is looking around at you, and you start to see its face beginning to peel away from the skull. Is there anything else Knives for Hands Jones would like to do?
Do a flip to top that.
That's it, I think.
Okay, perfect. That was a solid move, to be honest. Lihorio, what would you like to do?
So that thing, the mount, is it still?
Yeah, it was starting to run back, but now it's kind of turned around again, and it's now kind of prowling around Knives for Hands Jones, and you're actually starting to watch some of its the skin on its face is starting to peel away to reveal bone.
Oh, that was the yeah. I got it now. Yeah. Lujuria will just like walk behind the bell and slap his ass again and be like, "You got it, boy!" And I'll give him a bardic inspiration and
nice.
I'll cast healing word on him.
Oh, beautiful, nice one. I'm going to give you an inspiration for. I don't know if you have an inspiration already, but you can have one for that. Wonderfully flavored.
The pain of the ass smack totally masks the fact that I no longer feel the pain in my leg.
So
yes.
How much does how much do you heal the crack bell by?
I'm actually looking. I'm not familiarized with spells at all.
Healing word is a D4, I believe.
Oh, D4
plus your charisma. Yeah.
So that is 5 points.
Lovely. Okay. Perfect. So, do you want to go any further, or are you happy where you are?
Oh, I'll stand behind him.
Okay. Cool. Too close.
Got it.
Okay. So going from there, you now start to hear a voice coming from now just behind the bridge, and you hear this kind of very strange accent, like, "Fuck! That wasn't part of the plan at all. She wasn't meant to go flying through the air. That's fucking cat altogether. Right, better throw a knife anyway." This guy in a hooded robe just comes out, throws a dagger towards Knives for Hands Jones. So he's gonna have advantage. So that is to hit. It is. What's the stats?
Is Ree throwing a knife at me?
Yeah. So that is 23 to hit. So I assume that hits.
Let me just double check my armor class, and yeah, that hits.
Okay, cool. And you take so 10 points of piercing damage.
Jesus.
As this dagger flies straight into your chest. What color is your blood?
I don't know, green or purple or something like that.
Okay,
something
so
weird.
you say green blood just spurts out from your chest. Green and purple blood spurts out from your chest
Oh.
as you fly back. You've never really seen this kind of It's always been green, but now it's purple too. It must have been something that was worked on you. And they start to pool together now to make this kind of black ichor that pools on the ground. As you stumble back, you see now this hooded figure kind of hunched over. You feel like if this figure was to stand up properly and be kind of stand straight, they'd probably be about 7 foot tall, but they're really lanky and really hunched over and twisted, and their entire body is covered in bandages, and they also wear a cowl over their head. And as he throws the dagger, he's like, "Jesus, that was a fucking class shot. Do you see that? Do you see that one now? That was fucking, that's how you want to do it now. If you want to be throwing daggers now, Alex." And he seems to be talking to someone else under the bridge. And, wait till fuck off. And you watch as this guy just starts running away. Okay.
What the hell?
Meki, it's your turn.
Oh, I'd like to cast Mage Hand and grab him.
Okay, what's the range on Mage Hand?
Wait, one sec. Let me actually look at that.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Is oh no, it's only 30 feet. Never mind.
Yeah, he's just a little out of range, I'm afraid.
Instead, would like to cast Firebolt. Have enough reach?
Yeah, that's like 120 feet. So you're firing at this character, is it? That's running away.
Yes, please.
All right.
Yes, yes.
Give me an attack roll, please.
Was a nat 20.
Shit, what's with all these high rolls? Beautiful. Yeah, give me the damage. So you can either roll the dice twice, or you can double whatever you roll.
Okay.
So this guy's just, that was savage in fucking class. He's just kind of dashing away.
That was 16 damage.
How would you like to do this?
Oh no! Meki's going to fumble around in one of his pouches on his belt, and he's going to bring out a ruby, and he is going to hold it out, and out will come the firebolt. He's just going to panic. He's going to kind of do hot potato with the ruby, like, and then hold it. And
nice. Very lovely. So as you do, you kind of launch this fireball. You kind of eventually hot potato it hand to hand, and then like the bolt of fire just shoots out, knocks this guy at the back of the head, and you watch as the whole back of his head just blows open, and he just collapses lifelessly onto the bridge.
Meki's going to gag. He's going to cover Elowin's eyes.
She's just gonna hold on the hand, just covering like,
Mickey, I can't see. It's
and that's it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna give you an inspiration for that. That was lovely. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, so that's another one dead. Whose turn is it? So Becky just went. We have oh no, they're dead. Okay. Elowin, it's your turn.
yes. He doesn't really know what's happening. There's still he's just gonna just quickly like take away the hand from her eyes from Mickey, and kind of open up her shirt collar a little bit, and bring out a necklace that she's wearing with a little symbol in there. You can't quite see what it is, but it's very shiny. She's gonna clasp it in her hands and just kind of start whispering a little bit.
Oh, Lyra, please help these poor souls.
And I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Nice for Hand Jones.
Hey, nice one. Or should I say, knife one?
Fucking damn it, Gabriel.
And she is gonna get 6 health back.
So you rolled the healing word. So yeah, okay, cool. So you've added also your extra 3 as well for the extra damage that the extra damage you can heal with.
That is the wisdom, yeah?
Wisdom and also another 3 because you're a life cleric.
Oh, then it's 9.
Perfect.
Right?
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's all my spell choice.
Perfect. So then you watch as the bits of this pink light as well begin to like surround where the knife is, and it kind of now as the wound in your chest heals, it just pushes out the dagger, and then there's just a like flicker of pink electricity, and that shoots the knife out finally, and there's just a white scar in the center of your chest. Okay. So we have Elowen. So now we move to okay. Under the bridge now, you see one final goblin just hiding there. And this goblin's like, it's actually going to take a wisdom saving throw to see if it actually just... Yeah, no, this thing is just standing there, like, completely rigid, not sure what the hell to do. It's just seen, like, 2 of its friends completely eviscerated. And that's his turn. Fredericks, I'm going to move forward. Well, let's investigate the situation, kids. And he's going to, yeah, he's an idiot, so he's going to move with you 2 on his shoulders. Quite the hound we have here. And he's got his hands on his hips, and he's going to pull out a ladle from his belt, and he's going to bonk the creature on his head, like, go on, get it, go on, go get it. That's doesn't do any damage. He misses. So he kind of bonks on the head, but it doesn't seem to do anything to the creature, whose face is continuing to now peel away. And we now go to... I think Audacity has more dexterity than the Cracked Bell, but what are both of your dexterity scores?
16.
16? Okay. And what's the Cracked Bell?
Mine is 8.
Okay, cool. So we'll go to Audacity first. What would you like to do?
Okay, so this time I actually take out my gun.
There we go.
I will shoot the goblin.
Oh my god, okay. Give me an attack roll. As this thing's just staring into the abyss, you pull out this... Yeah, do you want to describe the gun a little bit? Or are you happy not to?
It's quite big. It looks really heavy. If you look closely, it's actually not that new. It's kind of worn down and a little rusty. Seems kind of patched together, but it is a laser gun.
Beautiful. All right.
Also, a laser. I was imagining like a musket kind of stuff.
No, it's a laser gun.
Yeah,
It's the chunky laser one. Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So give me an attack roll with this then. As this thing starts to charge up, just
15 to hit.
15. That you meet it. You beat it. So you hit it exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Give me an attack roll. They did have a little bit of cover there, but yeah, doesn't matter.
Okay. That's fuck is math. That's 8 points of lightning damage.
Okay. How would you like to do this?
Just hoist the gun up on my shoulder and just fire, honestly.
Okay, so as you kind of fire away with this thing, yeah, this thing is like right by this whole bridge, and as this thing just unloads, it's just this and this massive beam of what you can only describe, the rest of you can only like compare to like a bolt of lightning fires from this massive rifle that Audacity carries, and as the lightning disappears, all you hear is this tiny little and there's nothing left but the little Wellington boots that this goblin was once wearing, and the half of the bridge is obliterated.
These little booties.
It's gone.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, let me just draw these little booties in here if anyone wants to pick them up.
Thank you, Gabriel. Always so kind.
Yeah. There's just a pair of little pink booties left, and just a little poof of steam rises up. Wonderful. What's that? Did you say something, Patema?
I didn't say anything, no.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, is there anything else Audacity would like to do, or are you happy where you are?
I think that's my turn.
Okay. Bonk as well just has like eyes wide with excitement, like. Excellent job, my lord.
I tell him to sit the fuck down.
Yes, my lord. And he just sits down cross-legged, just kind of rocking back and forth, just. Someday I won't have a girl with a laser.
Hype, man.
Beautiful. That is. Okay, so we're now on to. Oh yeah, the cracked bell. What would you like to do, David?
David?
David, are you there?
Eat?
David?
The fucker fell
I
asleep.
think his Discord's crashed.
Oh shoot! I can go knock on his door. Oh no! I keep thinking I hear him, but I'll go check. Oh wait, what's
Maybe he fell asleep.
Yeah.
that makes sense. Let me just. I'll
He's
continue.
having a pulse bread.
You know what? We'll come back to the cracked bell. We'll come back to him in a minute. Okay. It's now the thing's turn. That's face is peeling away. Now kind of surrounded by all you individuals. Its face is going to start completely peel away now from its skull, just revealing this bloody mass underneath, and just two coals of burning fire in its eye sockets. And as it roars at all of you, can I get you all, please, to make a charisma saving throw, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I disconnected for a second.
Yeah, okay, no worries.
A charisma saving throw?
Yeah. Yeah, so this thing is roaring at everyone. I'm just going to get everyone to make a charisma saving throw, and then it's your turn. So, going through everyone. Let's just check. Okay, so, Meki, what did you get?
Got a 23.
Okay, unfazed. Elowin, what did you get?
21.
Wow, okay.
Let's go.
The cracked bell, you can't see this, so I'm going to give you an advantage.
Well, I can't see it either.
Elowin, you can give you an advantage as well, but you gotta try.
I don't have to, but...
You're also right by it, but no, give me an advantage as well.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
21.
21, okay, cool. Audacity, what did you get?
13.
Okay, you're fine. Bonk. Bonk's shitting himself. Lihorio?
Casually.
Bonk.
Bonk.
Did Lihorio get?
Unnatural 20.
Damn, okay. Nice Hands Jones?
2.
Okay. Alright. Cool. And then Fredericks. Fredericks is fine. I'm just perfect. This is a bit of a scary beast, but I've seen scarier. So the majority of you are fine, except for Bonk and Nice for Hands Jones. Nice for Hands Jones, as you see this thing's face peel away and like start to climb right over your body, you get flashbacks to creatures that you've seen spliced up and ripped to pieces. And this creature with its face peeling back, it just reminds you of something very, very personal. And seeing friends as well that you've known have their own faces peeled away, and you immediately start to go into like this panic attack. Your heart starts racing. You just fall. You collapse to the ground, backing up away from this thing. You fall prone, and you're currently frightened by this creature.
Okay.
And as for Bonk just like crawls behind you, like hides behind Audacity's legs, hugs them, and just use the laser, use the laser, use the laser. The rest of you are fine. This thing is wailing, but you outnumber it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 to 1. So the rest of you are pretty fine. What is the cracked bell doing? David?
No, he's gone again.
No!
No!
David!
Wait.
Any second now.
Wait. Hi, David.
Hello.
Hey, there we go. What is the cracked bell doing, sir?
don't know what's going on. That's in character.
You have heard this like high-pitched screech as well from the rest of the group. There's like this other gurgle, just a nasty, hideous beast roaring.
I frantically look around. It's like, the child. Where's the child?
Give me a perception check.
Leave me alone. Oh no.
I'm horrible at these. Anyway, I got a 1. No, natural 1. Still 1.
Okay. You don't know where the child is. You don't really know. Kind of. The only thing that you've felt recently is your ass being slapped and the pain in your leg disappearing. Currently, yeah. I'll leave this one up to you how you want to play it.
I will run towards the stream.
Okay.
And I will run across the stream.
Okay.
And I'll probably hit. I'll just keep looking around frantically, wailing.
So eventually you would, with that kind of forward projection, you would just continue running until you crash into a tree. So you run across, and as you kind of wade through the water of the stream, I'm actually going to get you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Sure.
As the water is actually quite deep here, and the rocks are slippy and mossy.
I got an 8.
Okay, so you get across and you slip, and now you guys watch as the cracked bell starts getting dragged away upstream, flies down the stream and knocks into the pair of booties. The pair of tiny booties like fall up onto your chest as you're now kind of like starfishing down the river.
God, I know.
Your bell's kind of like water's kind of splashing up into the bell every now and again. Just you keep sinking, coming back down. Your bell kind of knocks off the rocks a few times and twangs in your ears, completely disorientating you. You try to find some sort of place to grab. Are you letting the stream take you, or are you trying to fight against the stream?
I'll probably like knee-jerk reaction, like try to grab onto whatever is in front of me. I don't know what's in front of me, but I'll try and grab it.
Cool. Give me I guess a dexterity saving throw.
Sure.
Remember, you have the bardic inspiration.
You do. You can add a d6 to it.
I may end up using that. 16.
16. So with that, as you kind of start, you're kind of flailing your arms all around. Eventually your arms kind of slap onto hard wood. As you kind of like break it, you catch it, it catches your weight. Your legs keep kind of going on their own, and you keep splashing up slightly. But you are still grabbing onto this this bridge, this wooden bridge just above you. So you're safe. Is there anything else the cracked bell would like to do?
Get up.
Okay.
Water.
Okay, but we'd say you can easily just pull yourself now up onto that bridge, and you're
alone
safe.
again. Alone once more.
Oh my god!
I'll start walking across the bridge away from everyone. I assume I can do that for quite a while.
Perfect. Okay. The cracked bell heads off, leaving the rest of you to this this nasty beast. It's amazing. The beast as well, because it hasn't taken its movement. Because we went back to the cracked bell. It's actually just going to try to run away, because no one's scared of it. It's going to start dashing off, and people can make opportunity attacks if they would like. Does anyone want to make an opportunity attack? It has to be a melee one, I guess.
I can't, can I?
You can, but with a disadvantage.
Okay, well, I might as well then.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to try and bonk you.
Okay, cool. Give me a.
Oh, I got a 12.
12. Just misses, I'm afraid, as you do kind of swipe away. It kind of dashes just out of the way as your hands are just a bit shaky or have a slight delayed reaction. What did Alwyn get?
I don't quite know what to add.
Just add your strength modifier to the roll.
Okay, so that's a -1. So that's a 15 to hit.
15 hits, yeah. So technically you do no damage to it.
Yeah.
As you do, just kind of give it like a slap or kick or whatever, and it kind of just.
I have like a the little staffy thing.
Oh yeah. How do you? Yeah.
That she's just kind of bonk after it.
You see, as you kind of just bonk it as well, the giant bugbear who's got you on his shoulders, like, very good. You're a feisty one. That thing's not coming back. I think you've scared it, little one. And
She's just gonna look like really proud at her little well, she just can't look anywhere, but she looks really proud, just kind of holding her little wooden staff, just like.
Wow, you've sent it over the hills. It's still going. It's gone. I can't see it. It's long gone. You've saved the day. He gives you like a little kind of tickle on the hip with his like pinky, his thumb and his finger, whatever. I can't think of the. Fuck. Index. I wanted to say index, but I was like, that's not it. His tickling finger. And with that, Bonk calms down. Bonk's no longer scared. Your heart rate returns to normal. Nice hands, Jones, and calmness comes back to the woods.
I shake Bonk off from my legs.
He kind of strains himself up, like fixes his bow tie, like smooths down whatever loose little hairs are kind of standing up. Just apologies, my highness. And Bonk kind of just backs away on all fours.
Elwyn is just kind of gonna lean over a little bit because she knows that she could hear knife for hands. Jones just kind of panicking a bit early. She's just like,
are you okay?
I wasn't scared. I'm alright. I'm alright.
Okay. It's okay to be scared. It's
No, this is the goblin's blood, not mine.
okay.
Oh god.
Very brave. This one. Yes.
Lugurio's gonna step over to Audacity, kind of like stand behind and put his hand on her shoulder and be like, "That's a big, thick gun you got there. Are you overcompensating for something?"
Excuse me.
Just wondering. That's a very large gun. It's unnecessary.
It is indeed not unnecessary at all.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, it's very handy.
I see. No, it's very impressive.
Just give him like a really stinky look.
Are you using any abilities here, Juanjo, or just picking?
Well, I mean, I have a passive charming ability, but no, it's just being an ass. It's just this place like
Go.
I am being an ass, and you cannot tell me anything.
Perfect.
Just gonna shake his hand off from my shoulder, like turn around.
You have fun with your gun, then. It just walks with the rest now that the danger is over.
Perfect. Whoa! Sorry, apologies.
Oh, bye, Luhurio.
Bye, Luhurio. Oh, what
Bye.
the heck is
It was
even
too
happening?
fast.
What?
It was too fast.
Okay, we're fine. Wow, he's here now. Okay, cool.
Teleported.
Perfect, so you kind of join the rest of them. The crack bell taken off as well, long gone at this stage. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Bonk says, yeah, I like the gun. I think the gun is magnificent. He's just jealous he doesn't have a gun. He's just like me. His eyes kind of go wide, stare off into the abyss.
Yes, I'm sure that's what it is. And I sluggishly make my way to the rest of the group.
Right. Bonk kind of waddling behind you, everything jingling in the bag. Okay. Oh, are we all, why is nice for hands there? Are we all ready to continue, I guess? Off on the adventure again! Walk in the park. Walk in the park.
Yes, the crying man in the bell costume is gone ahead.
The boy! The Julio will run over.
Beautiful. Okay, so you gotta just dash off after the crack bell. And so
Oh, silly man.
catching up to him.
I love him.
So you actually catch up to the cracked
I
bell.
don't get very far, but I do I'm probably a little slumped. Like, you know, the bell's pretty heavy, so my head's down. And then when you come along, my head raises fully, and it's like, oh, I do seem to perk up a little bit. My hands come to my side, and I'm like, hello, you're back. I'm not alone anymore. What happened?
You're not. You did good, but
Was there a tidal wave? I started being swept up in a torrent of water.
That was but your tears, you crybaby. Let's go back with the others.
So cruel. I will go with you.
Oh, beautiful. Match made in heaven, these two. Whoa! Okay, why did that happen? Well, you're here now. Well, you're getting. I did accidentally. So, why? Okay.
Why are you doing this?
I don't.
Are you using a map or are you using a mouse or a tablet?
I'm using a mouse.
Remember to donate, guys. So
Gabe can afford some nice material. And
yeah, remember to donate. And subscribe.
Hit that bell. Hit the cracked bell. Subscribe. Okay.
Hit the cracked bell. Bonk me right on the head. You know I deserve it.
Oh my god. So, is there? You're happy to move on or continue, or is there anything else that you'd like to wrap up here?
No, I'm happy to move on.
Okay.
Everyone else is.
You're good to go?
Yeah.
Alright, so with that, Fredericks will lead the way. Alright, everybody, here we go. And you continue now following along this river for another like 4 hours or so. And you can start to hear the kind of low calls of birds as well, starting to chime all around you as they start to wake up. No sun is rising yet, but the horizon is going like a lighter pink. And as you do continue on, eventually you start the chuckles now just become these really deep laughs, just as you're kind of rushing through the water. It starts getting louder and louder and louder until it's now just these loud gurgling roars. And eventually the river widens so much that eventually now cascades over this massive cliff face. We'll go there now. So here you are. Eventually you catch up with the river that now pours over 100-foot drop that eventually comes down to a massive lake. And at the center of this lake there is an island. And on this island there seems to be some sort of device that you can't quite make out, but you can see this faint green glow coming from it. Also at the base of this cliff there's a small rowing boat. And you can now start to see just a tiny little bit of the sun peeking over the horizon. Well, we're here. Whoa, he's not here though. Where's oh no, let's go back and grab him.
He's run away, he left us.
Well, that's my job done. See you all later.
See ya, bitches.
See ya, assholes. Fucking waste of my time.
No.
He just chucks the child over the cliff.
No!
Nice.
No!
You're giving me a crick in my shoulder. No one's ever
That
given
would
me
actually
a
be an amazing twist.
Oh, I'm also
Great,
massive.
Then knives for hands would have been correct for stabbing him if it turned out
Yeah.
he was actually evil.
Patame is always right.
I am.
Don't worry, we know, Patema, we know.
Alright, here we go. So, you now find yourselves at the edge of this cliff, and as you peer over the edge, eventually this explosion of butterflies bursts from the about 50 feet down from this waterfall. They all explode out from the waterfall, and you now see this this hurricane of colorful butterflies just flutter out in this explosion, wrapping around each other, twirling and twisting, and eventually this hurricane starts to spin faster and faster and faster until all these, you watch as each one of the butterflies starts to slap into the other one, and as they do, they start to glow a little brighter, and eventually this ring eventually forms of these golden butterflies now whizzing at high speeds, about 50 foot down this cliff, and as they do, it starts to ring with this light chime, almost inviting you to leap through.
No, I am not jumping.
Knives for Hands will jump.
Alright, you watch
Dive down the waterfall.
Give me an acrobatics check. As you immediately run over, jump off.
I got an unnatural 20.
Perfect. You watch as Knives for Hands shoots through the ring. There's this ringing noise that shoots through your ears for a split second, and then she cuts through the water like a knife. Excuse the pun. And she is now.
I'll jump after Knives for Hands.
Okay.
I'm going to sink them, thinking I've done something rash.
No, don't you jump.
Alright, he runs off and jumps. Give me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics, you say. Here we go. 17.
17. So you watch this hulk of a man just kind of cannonball off over the edge, leaping after Knives for Hands Jones. You fly through this ring, and again you hear this chiming noise inside your bell, a little lighter and softer than what you're used to when your bell is actually hit, and then you break through the water. You see the giant man disappear below the surface.
God damn it, that was my protection. Alright, fine. It was jump after.
Alright, as you run off, you jump through. Give me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. That is an 18.
18. You fly through again. This wonderful chime rings through your ear, soothes you, calms you, and you break through the surface of the water. The rest of you now watch 3 bodies bob to the surface, lifeless, and begin to float. No, I'm joking. But they don't pop back up. They go below the surface. You can no longer see them.
Is this the way to the town? I thought we were. What's this?
Can you give me a perception check, Mackie?
Perception is 12.
12. So beyond this lake you reckon is about 200 foot, has like a 200 foot radius. It's about 200 feet till the island. And then beyond the island again, it doesn't fit in this map, but it continues on again, and this entire lake is surrounded by woodlands. And to the very bottom, right across from you, there's a path then that leads from this island towards like deeper into the woods, but it seems to be like a well-used path. It's quite wide.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
I gesture for Bonk to jump in.
And Bonk's like, kind of look, give me a persuasion check.
Oh.
Poor guy. I love him.
Oh, 19.
So the first split second, you're kind of gesturing to Bonk to go in. He's like, what? Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I can do that. And he just kind of struts on over. And can you roll for Bonk's acrobatics?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, that's an 11.
Okay, so you watch as Bonk now tumbles like a starfish, kind of like revolving through the air, like arms all spread, just kind of just misses the ring and then continues on through, like past the ring, and just breaks into the water, like really like splats his bag, kind of breaks the fall. You hear kind of crack noise, and Bonk does eventually. He just goes below the surface.
Oh.
Elowen is just kind of gonna tug on Mickey's shirt again, just like,
what's happening?
Oh god, how do I explain this? He's gonna ask Fredericks if they can both get down, and he'll help Elowen down as well. And look at Audacity, kind of eyeing Audacity, then the waterfall, then back at Audacity, and the waterfall kind of tilting his head like.
Me?
Yeah. Going.
Fine. I jump in.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check.
Thankfully, I am very good at acrobatics. Okay, that's a 14.
14. Okay, so you kind of just dive off the edge very gracefully and cut through the golden ring, continue on down the waterfall, and then break through the water, disappearing below the surface.
Oh boy. Okay. Off the edge, like, okay. He's gonna crouch down and holding her hand, saying, "Okay, this is going to be a little bit strange, but I'm gonna need you to hold your nose and take a deep breath. Hold on to me very tight." Hey, it's okay. It'll be fine. We're going for a small swim.
I can't swim.
Okay, I'll be holding on to you.
Okay.
He'll pick up Eloin so that she's kind of being like a koala on him, like legs and arms around him. And he'll say again, "Okay, remember to pinch your nose really tight and take a deep breath, like hold your breath," and he'll jump.
Okay, I'm gonna get you to make an athletics check for this one because you're holding a child. If that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It was 18.
18, beautiful. So the pair, you kind of managed to get, with the adrenaline, you just bolt off the edge, kicking off the edge, managed to get enough distance from you and the cliff, and the pair of you zing through the ring as well, obviously hearing that lovely chime. And every one of you, as you all break through the water, are now under the water, your bodies feel refreshed, calm, and from all the walking that you've done, they're completely rejuvenated, and you all get 10 temporary hit points. And the party now making their way over, kind of bobbing up one at a time, kind of finding your bearings. The lot of you managed to, and Frederick's also coming in. What did he get? Oh, Frederick's got a natural one. So, as you all manage to crawl out of the water, you find yourselves now. Oh my god! As you actually kind of climb out of the water, everyone's kind of a bit disorientated, but eventually, let's see, we got Elwyn here, we've got the Mickey, we've got Bonk. Bonk's unconscious as well. Bonk is floating currently on the surface of the water. They did manage to just clip the butterflies, but that gave him enough help just to kind of like survive the fall. But Bonk is just kind of drifted up onto the edge of the water, like the bag keeping it afloat, and it just like the lifeless body of Bonk is brushed up onto the surface. Audacity is all you kind of swim up. So you go on.
Can I try to stabilize him?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a medicine check as you kind of come out of the water, crawling up through the mud and everything, completely saturated.
14.
14. Okay, so as Bonk is just kind of conked on the side of the thing, you start to do compressions, and eventually Bonk just like coughs up a bunch of blood. Eyes kind of flutter open. Its body's still kind of limp. Just. You're
fine. You're fine.
The cracked bell. Actually, no. Who went first? Actually, it was Nice for Hans Jones. You're kind of crawling out of the water first, and as you do, climbing along, your hand sinks into something soft, and kind of breaks through something, and you look up, and you now see the. Oh, for fuck's sake. You now see what is left of Fredericks. It seems he had fallen, and he seemed to bash his head. Half his head is caved in, His legs are completely broken and shattered.
Oh, Jesus.
And he is now landed on his side, and half his shoulder is sunk into his body, and some of the ribs are piercing out through his chest, and you now see this corpse of
No.
Can I prod him with my sword hand?
No.
yeah, you're not. No. I assume you're not poking it through the flesh or anything like that.
I just want to see if he's like living.
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
Shit, I only have 2 spells, right?
That's a 5.
5. Like it doesn't take much. He doesn't seem to be alive. You can see also one of his eyeballs are hanging from its socket. Just kind of still attached to the back of his like brain, but the eyeball is still loosely hanging from the socket in his head.
Lujurio will walk over to Audacity and be like, didn't the goat lady give you something?
Maybe.
Can I have a little bit of it? The guy died, and the guy knew where are we going? I don't know where we're going.
Okay, that's a fair point. Then I take out the potion from.
It's bag.
Wait, I think I know which way to go though.
You don't have to bring it back. It's fine, I know the way.
Elowen is just gonna like turn around and just kind of like grab out a Mickey, just like,
We need to help him.
Just wait here for one moment. Meki will begrudgingly go over, kind of gag on Will, and would also like to check if he's actually still alive and salvageable.
Give me a medicine check.
Yeah. That was a 15.
He is dead. He took about 56 damage as he.
Yeah.
So he's...
Has he got any more cookies on him?
Give me an investigation check.
God.
I got I know I got an 11.
11. Looking around, you kind of look in one of the pouches. There's a bunch of flour and other kind of bags of kind of different grains and stuff in one of the pouches. You look in another. There's just a pouch now of just broken eggs inside. And in another pouch there's all the ingredients. There's another pouch with sugar bags and stuff like that. All his pouches just had cooking ingredients inside. And yeah, there's also a bent cooking tray just under him that's also now jabbed into his kind of lower abdomen.
I just kind of wave the potion in the air. So.
Lujurio will take it, or attempt to, if you let him, and kind of walk over to the big hunky man.
Okay.
Like, okay, all right. He just will attempt very clumsily to kind of open the bottle. Be like, all right, I think it's like this, and pull out the tongue of Frederick's, and like, all right, 1 drop.
You see also like his tongue is being like skewered on one of his tusks, and it's just kind of like as you pull it out, you kind of pull it away, and
he'll attempt to drop 1 single drop onto the tongue.
Okay, so as you do pour it, a mist now kind of falls out of the actual vial itself and fills his mouth, and it kind of drags the rest of the vial into the mouth. There is only one part of this mist, and now begins to wrap around his tongue, pulls his tongue up from the tooth. The tongue now begins to heal and stitch closed, and the mist continues back his throat, and you then watch as just his body begins to like snap back into place. His leg kind of twists back, his head kind of fills out again, and the whole body now begins to lift up from the ground for a moment, healing up, being patched up, and he and then dropped gently back down onto the ground. His whole body's kind of, all the armor and clothes and everything are completely ripped up, but his eyes then do blink open again. Oh. Oh. Hello.
Nap's over, get up.
Oh, yes, of course. I can't be resting on the job. And he kind of brushes himself off and kind of holds his head and like stumbles a little bit. Oh, I made it. I seem to have made it down. Okay, actually, that was quite the scary moment. For a second, I thought I was done for.
You were.
Imagine that. What?
No, you landed beautifully. Everything was okay. Now take us away.
He
from
was
all
all
this.
matched up though.
No, he's fine. He's fine. Look at him.
Both. Can you give me a persuasion check, a deception check for Husho? No, sorry, no, yeah, the
pronunciation was so
sorry.
good. Yeah, sure.
Yurio, and can you give me a contested check for Nice Friends Jones on I guess perception? I mean not persuasion.
Persuasion. Oh, I got a 5.
Okay.
You got us 11.
Okay, so as you say this, he's like, I have to admit, I was on the butterfly stroke team as a child and have been quite proficient in diving. Not to toot my own horn, I don't do it very often, but that sounds about right. He's still even, like, you can see it in his face very plainly, like he's questioning if he actually made it or not. Either way, I have places to bring you. And what, how convenient. There is a rowing boat. Right there. Wonderful. The luck just keeps getting better and better.
Good. Now take us away from all this water. Let's go somewhere else.
Sure thing, kiddo. So he kind of clambers into the boat, kind of like it just starts to immediately like tilt. He brings it forward actually. We got a boat. We can move the boat. We can move the boat. Okay, so he kind of pushes the boat out with one hand and kind of hops inside it.
Gabriel, is there is it a good moment to call it there, or just because?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's totally up to yourselves. Yeah. How are you all doing? Do you want to wrap it up here? How is everyone doing? And would you like to wrap it up here?
Good, I don't mind.
So
I could continue, but I'm fine with either.
I'm fine with mine.
If anyone is very unsure, we can absolutely, because I know some people are working tomorrow. We can absolutely wrap it up here too.
Oh yeah, well I'll need to hop off anyway.
Okay, cool. So we'll wrap it up there. So he
Yeah.
brings the boat out,
Okay.
guides you all forward. Is like, right, on to Tavenlock, everybody. And we'll leave it there as you all.
Tavenlock. That's. Where are we? I thought we were in. What's going on?
Oh my god. The end.
This is very upsetting.
Thank you everyone for watching the stream. We'll leave it there for now, and perfect, beautiful. So we'll come back here if everyone's up for it for next Tuesday. Anyone who wants to leave it off who can't make it next week, that's no worries. But we'll still play an Evil Bottoms game next Tuesday for any of you who are here. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you all. Well done, everyone. First sessions are always a bit awkward to kind of get into the group, but you've all like seamlessly gotten into it. Brilliant. Excellent. Well done.
I wasn't expecting to be the asshole of the group, but
do we have to bring him back? Wonderful.
Really? Your character's name is Audacity.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
Oh my god. That was fun.
okay.
Beautiful. Well done, everyone. We'll have music next week, and yeah, beautiful. Well done. All right, Evil Bottoms away.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you all. Cut to the video. Okay.
Oscar will look at Ghostly and say, "Frog, horse, frog. Do you wanna frog, horse? Do you wanna go on top of the frog, horse?"
Yeah, are you all right, mate?
Frog! On top, frog!
Do you hit your head?
Oh my god.
I will go next to Madame Sprout and just put my hands on top of the frog. Safe, very safe.
Eternal Oscar right now. Notice that Bubbles does a thing where the sides of Bubbles' mouth kind of stretch to the sides and curl downwards and you can sense what Bubbles is thinking, really, you think I'm good at this kind of stuff?
I was just gonna look at him and was like, no, but I don't think I'm any better. You really want me to go up to that man? A girl like, oh, it's okay, she wasn't much of a loss. See, I can't.
Bubbles kind of points inside their mouth. And just you know what Bubbles is saying the whole time, and Bubbles is just trying to communicate. I can't even talk.
I think that's the benefit.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Ghostly, I think this might be for you.
What's that then?
Go give Brian a hug.
Oh, Brian's upset because Nagacinta's in bits on the floor.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.